This time round, it was participatory, and different sectors had to sit and see the priorities that they feel should be done, and we came out with workable solutions. If the government implements them, we feel something good will come out.
So you want to agree that even the teachers' issues, some of the teachers' pressing issues were also addressed?
Yes, the teacher issues which we highlighted, if worked on, we feel something will come out of it.
Let's talk about those issues. What are some of these issues that you're saying, if they are worked on, something wonderful will come out of it?
Yeah, first of all, we raised an issue of recruitment.
Okay.
In the first place, the system used by government is the class system when you go to primary subsector. A teacher is supposed to teach the entire class from morning to evening. Now that is an assumption that a teacher cannot fall sick, that we don't have female teachers who are going to deliver and are entitled to maternity leave of 60 working days. And we have men who are also entitled to paternity leave of 4 working days. Now, we raised an issue where we need to have roving teachers, so that in case a female teacher delivers and she goes away for maternity leave, there should be a teacher to cover up that class. Otherwise, in absence of that, then we cannot say we shall have efficiency in teaching and learning process. That's one. Two, we also raised an issue of payment of the teachers. Every month we have cases of teachers who go off the payroll without reason. Now, once the teacher goes to the bank and there is no salary in the bank, then he starts moving up and down, trying to get the reason why this salary has not come. And in most cases, the teacher goes to the human resource officer, they tell them fill this form, go back, come after 2 weeks, the teacher comes, there is nothing done. So there is a lot of time wasted. We also have issues like deployment. We have cases where transfers are made irregularly. You know, you find you go for holiday, transfers are supposed to be made in the month of November, so that December, January is used to prepare to go to new stations. But you find cases where the whole holiday, the responsible officers just keep quiet. And when the schools open, then the transfers are out.
Would you say some of these reasons you've given are responsible for the absenteeism that we have seen for over the years? Would you say these reasons are partly responsible for that?
Obviously, when you are looking for your salary and you are not given a reason, you can't be in school at the same time at the district or in the ministry. Whoever goes to school will not find you, and you are genuinely looking for a solution. Therefore, you are recorded as someone who is not in school. Now, if you have been transferred at the beginning of the term, and you have genuine reasons to appeal the transfer, you are going to waste time which you are supposed to be using to be in class. You are now following the appeal. Therefore, some of these issues contribute to the absenteeism which you have always heard about.
You talked of salary and someone leaving school to look for, to make sure they have their pay.
Yes.
But over time we've seen teachers strike, and
yes.
Recently actually the teachers went on strike, and later for some reason we thought there had been an arrangement
yes.
so for teachers to get these issues addressed. First and foremost, were these issues addressed, or if not, what exactly is happening in the sector right now?
The issues were partly addressed.
Okay.
First of all, we expected, last year we signed a collective bargaining agreement with government. We expected government to implement this collective bargaining agreement. And in our understanding, we knew now the issue of salaries had been resolved through that collective bargaining agreement, because we knew once it is implemented, then there is now no issue why the teachers should be demanding for increment, because government would be following what is laid down in that document. The first phase was paid. This first phase included some civil servants. The others were supposed to be in the second phase, and this is where the teachers were. When it came to the second phase, there was no effect of increment, and communication was not there. Mm-hmm. And as a result, we had to give government notice as it is provided for in the law. Even during the notice period, they kept quiet. That is what they chose to do. Mm-hmm. After the notice period, we had to go for industrial action. And now this is when they started responding. So we engaged in meetings until we met the president. He promised us they were going to look for money here and there and see how to address the issue. Mm. So when they went, they came up with 150 billion shillings. Out of the 150 billion, 15 billion was for public universities, and 135 billion was for the teachers in the primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions. Mm. Right now, we are at the level of distributing this money to see who gets what, because every teacher is a beneficiary. Mm. We haven't come up with a position on what goes where and how much each teacher is going to get. That is the process which is on. And as a result of that, the industrial action was called off. So right now, all teachers are in schools and they are doing their work. So
at the moment, we can clearly say that teachers are settled, they are comfortable, their issues are being worked on, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, in the review also they mentioned the issue of inadequate and poor syllabus coverage. Do you think this is also partly behind poor performance in schools?
Obviously, once the syllabus is not covered, then if the question comes in the area which was not covered, definitely the learners cannot answer it. And one of the reasons, or some of the reasons that lead to low syllabus coverage, is these other underlying factors that make teachers not to be in school on a daily basis. So we have to address what causes absenteeism before we look at absenteeism itself. Okay. Because the issue is, why are teachers not in school? What are they doing? So if we address these issues that make teachers to be absent from school, then we shall stop seeing absenteeism. Yes.
Anyway, there are some sections of the public that think some teachers are ill-equipped to deal with the changing learning environment. How true do you think that is? In your opinion, do you think it is, you would gladly say the teachers are ill-equipped?
Teachers are not ill-equipped.
Are we teaching the right syllabus? Are we teaching the right syllabus to equip students with the right skills to match the current environment, employment environment?
First of all, in the teaching profession, we have what we call continuous professional development. The teachers qualify at different intervals. There are those who have been in service for 20 years. Obviously, situations have changed. There are those who are just getting out of the training schools. Therefore, once we engage in continuous professional development, all teachers will be up to date. And they will be supported to do their work. But in the situation where you find there is absence of continuous professional development, obviously what you are talking about will come in. Because if I qualified 20 years ago and I have not had chance, because we don't right now, other than the national teacher policy which has been approved by cabinet in April this year, there was no structure of this continuous professional development. So it has been a gap. And therefore there was a possibility of a teacher going for 10 years without continuous professional development. And that has been a very big gap, because the reforms continuously come in. And every time there is a reform, there is a need to refresh the teachers who are in the field. Yes. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Philbert, for coming to our studios tonight. I think from the look of things, the future of the education sector seems bright, according to you.
Once all stakeholders come together and do what they are supposed to do, obviously the future of education of the children in this country will be brighter.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming to our studios. You heard it from him. If all different sectors supposed to do a certain particular part, do it correctly and at the right time, the future of education in the country will be bright. Thank you so much for joining us on Talk of the Nation. NTV Weekend Edition continues shortly.
Opinion Poll is brought